Winning is not a feeling. It is a decision you make long before the results show up. It begins in the moments when everything hurts, when the odds are stacked against you, and when quitting feels like the most reasonable option. This is where most people stop, but this is where you separate yourself. When you say, "I will win," it is not a statement of confidence. It is a promise you make to yourself. A promise that no matter the pain, no matter the doubt, and no matter how hard it gets, you will keep moving forward. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is proof that you are pushing past the limits that once defined you. Every athlete, every champion, every successful person has had to walk through discomfort to reach something greater. The difference is not that they felt less pain. It is that they refused to let pain control their decisions. When your muscles burn, when your lungs are on fire, when your mind starts telling you to slow down, that is the exact moment you grow stronger. Pain is temporary, but the regret of giving up lasts forever. The odds do not care about your dreams. Life does not pause to make things fair. You will be underestimated, overlooked, and doubted by people who cannot see your vision. Sometimes the odds will be so high that winning seems impossible. But impossible is just a word used by those who quit too early. History is written by people who were told they could not win and decided to prove everyone wrong. When the odds are against you, that is not a signal to stop. That is your invitation to rise. Winning requires commitment on the days when motivation is gone. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes based on mood, energy, and circumstances. Commitment is different. Commitment shows up even when you are tired, even when you are sore, even when no one is watching. Champions are not built on their best days. They are built on the days they wanted to quit but chose to continue. When you train, work, or study while others rest, you are quietly building an advantage that cannot be taken away from you. There will be moments when your body wants to stop, your legs will feel heavy, your arms will feel weak, your mind will search for excuses. This is where mental strength takes over. Your body follows your mind, not the other way around. When you tell yourself, "I will win," you are giving your mind a command. You are reminding yourself that quitting is not an option. You do not need to feel ready. You do not need to feel confident. You only need to take the next step, then the next, then the next. Winning also means learning to stand alone. There will be times when no one supports you, when no one believes in you, and when no one understands why you are pushing so hard. That is okay. The strongest people are built in solitude. When you train alone, when you work in silence, and when you fight through doubt by yourself, you develop an inner strength that does not depend on applause or approval. You learn to rely on yourself, and that is powerful. Failure is not the opposite of winning. Quitting is. Failure is part of the process. Every setback teaches you something. Every loss sharpens your focus. Every mistake makes you smarter if you are willing to learn from it. Winners do not avoid failure. They use it. They analyze it, adjust their approach, and come back stronger. Each time you fall and get back up, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you thought. Winning is a daily choice. It is choosing discipline over comfort. It is choosing effort over excuses. It is choosing growth over fear. You do not win once and you are done. You win every time you refuse to quit. Every early morning, every late night, every painful repetition, and every difficult decision adds up. Small victories compound into massive success.
When you say, "I will win,"
you are declaring war on your limits. You are telling fear, doubt, and weakness that they no longer control you. You are stepping into discomfort with purpose. You are accepting that the road will be hard, but you are also accepting that you are strong enough to walk it. No matter the pain, no matter the odds, you keep going. And in the end, that is what winning truly looks like. Discipline is not loud, it does not announce itself, and it does not wait for applause. It shows up quietly, consistently, and relentlessly, especially on the days when motivation disappears. Motivation is a feeling, and feelings change. Discipline is a system, a standard you live by no matter how you feel. Winning is built on this foundation. When motivation fades, discipline takes control and carries you forward. Most people wait to feel ready before they act. They wait for the right mood, the perfect timing, or a surge of inspiration. Discipline does not wait. Discipline moves even when everything inside you says stop. It is choosing to train when your body is tired, to work when your mind is distracted, and to stay focused when quitting would be easier. This is where true strength is developed, not in moments of excitement, but in moments of resistance. Every champion understands this truth. They do not rely on hype or energy to get through their days. They rely on routines. They rely on habits. They rely on standards that do not change based on circumstances. When others skip a workout, they show up. When others take shortcuts, they do the work the long way. This consistency compounds over time, creating a gap between those who wish for success and those who earn it. Discipline is built through small, repeated actions. It is waking up when the alarm goes off instead of hitting snooze. It is finishing the last set even when your muscles are screaming. It is staying focused on your goals while distractions try to pull you away. Small choices may seem insignificant in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, they shape your identity. You become the person who does not break promises to themselves. There will be days when you feel nothing, no excitement, no passion, no drive. Those days are a test. They ask one simple question: will you still show up when there is no reward waiting for you? Discipline answers that question with action. It does not need motivation. It does not need encouragement. It only needs commitment. When you push through these empty days, you build a mental toughness that cannot be taught or borrowed. Discipline also means saying no. No to distractions that steal your time. No to habits that weaken you. No to people who do not respect your goals. This is not about isolation, it is about priority. You cannot say yes to everything and still expect to win. Every choice costs you something. Discipline ensures you pay the price that leads to growth instead of regret. The hardest part of discipline is that no one sees it at first. No one sees the early mornings, the lonely workouts, the hours of focused effort. There is no immediate recognition, no instant results. But discipline is patient. It trusts the process. It understands that success is delayed but never denied to those who stay consistent. When the results finally appear, people call it talent, luck, or overnight success. They do not see the years of discipline behind it. Discipline strengthens your mind before it strengthens your body or your bank account. It teaches you self-control, resilience, and focus. It teaches you that you are capable of doing hard things even when you do not want to. This belief spills into every area of your life. When challenges appear, you do not panic. You do not fold. You lean on the discipline you have built and keep moving forward. Winning is not about doing something extraordinary once. It is about doing ordinary things extraordinarily well every single day. Discipline turns average effort into exceptional results. It turns potential into performance. It turns dreams into reality through action, not intention. When motivation fades, most people stop. When motivation fades, disciplined people begin. That is the difference. That is where champions are built. Discipline is not glamorous, but it is unstoppable. And if you master it, winning becomes not just possible, but inevitable. Discipline is the quiet force that carries you forward when excitement disappears and motivation runs dry. It does not depend on how you feel when you wake up, or how inspired you are in the moment. Discipline is a decision you make once and honor every day. It is the reason progress continues when comfort is calling your name. Without discipline, motivation fades and goals remain unfinished. With discipline, even the hardest paths become possible. Motivation is emotional. It rises when things are new and exciting, and it disappears when the work becomes repetitive or painful. Discipline is different. Discipline is mechanical. It shows up whether the work feels good or not. It does not ask for permission from your mood. It simply acts. This is why discipline outlasts talent, luck, and enthusiasm. Anyone can feel motivated for a short time. Very few can stay disciplined for a long time. Every successful athlete, leader, and high performer understands that winning is built in routine. They do not wake up each day wondering if they should train, study, or work. They have already decided. The decision was made long ago, and now it is simply executed. This removes hesitation and excuses. Discipline eliminates the daily battle with yourself by replacing it with structure and standards. Discipline grows when you keep promises to yourself. Each time you show up when you said you would, you strengthen your self-trust. Each time you finish what you started, you reinforce the belief that you are reliable. This belief becomes your foundation. When challenges appear, you do not question your ability to handle them, because you have proven it to yourself repeatedly through disciplined action. There will be days when everything feels heavy. Your body feels slow. Your mind feels tired. The goal feels far away. These are the days discipline matters most. These are the days that separate those who want success from those who earn it. Discipline does not remove discomfort. It teaches you how to move through it. When you continue despite resistance, you build resilience that no external force can take from you. Discipline is also about sacrifice. It requires giving up short-term pleasure for long-term growth. It means choosing sleep over late nights, preparation over procrastination, and effort over ease. These choices are rarely glamorous. They do not create instant gratification, but over time, they compound into strength, confidence, and results that others only talk about. Many people think discipline is restrictive, but in reality, it creates freedom. When you are disciplined with your time, you gain more of it. When you are disciplined with your body, you gain energy and health. When you are disciplined with your focus, you gain clarity and direction. Discipline removes chaos from your life and replaces it with control. You stop reacting and start leading yourself. One of the hardest parts of discipline is staying consistent when no one is watching. There is no applause in empty gyms, quiet study sessions, or long nights of work. Discipline thrives in these unseen moments. It does not need recognition to function. It understands that results will speak louder than words when the time is right. Discipline also teaches humility. It reminds you that progress is slow and mastery takes time. There are no shortcuts. There are no hacks that replace daily effort. Discipline accepts this truth and commits anyway. It focuses on what can be done today instead of obsessing over how far there is to go. One step at a time, one rep at a time, one day at a time. When motivation fades, discipline becomes your identity. You are no longer someone who tries. You are someone who does what must be done. This identity is powerful because it does not rely on circumstances. Whether the day is good or bad, easy or hard, you show up. That consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Winning is not an accident. It is the result of disciplined behavior repeated long after motivation has left the room. If you can master discipline, you will never be dependent on inspiration again. You will move forward regardless of how you feel. And when others stop, you will continue. That is how discipline builds winners when motivation fades. Discipline is unavoidable. The moment you decide to chase something meaningful, pressure becomes part of the journey. Deadlines tighten, expectations rise, and the weight of responsibility settles on your shoulders. Many people see pressure as a threat, something to escape or avoid. But pressure is not the enemy. Pressure is the test that reveals who you truly are. It does not create weakness or strength, it exposes it. When pressure arrives, excuses disappear. There is no room for comfort or hesitation. You are forced to act, to decide, and to perform. This is why pressure separates champions from the rest. Anyone can look strong when conditions are easy. True character is revealed when the stakes are high and the margin for error is small. Under pressure, you either rise or retreat. Champions do not IT for pressure to break them. They prepare for it. They train harder than necessary so that when the moment comes, they are ready. They do not panic because they have already faced discomfort in practice, in training, and in preparation. Pressure feels familiar to them because they have willingly put themselves in difficult situations long before the spotlight arrived. Pressure sharpens focus. When everything is on the line, distractions lose their power. Doubt, fear, and outside noise become less important than the task in front of you. Pressure forces you into the present moment. It demands clarity and commitment. Those who can stay calm and focused under pressure gain a powerful advantage over those who let emotions take control. Most people crumble under pressure because they try to avoid discomfort in daily life. They avoid hard conversations, challenging workouts, and difficult decisions. When pressure finally arrives, they are unprepared. Champions take the opposite approach. They seek discomfort. They push themselves when no one is forcing them to. They understand that controlled struggle builds the strength needed to perform when it truly matters. Pressure also teaches responsibility. When the outcome depends on you, excuses no longer work. You cannot blame circumstances, timing, or other people. Pressure demands ownership. Champions accept this responsibility willingly. They understand that accountability is not a burden, it is a privilege. It means they have earned the right to be in a position where their actions matter. There will be moments when pressure feels overwhelming. Your heart races, your thoughts speed up, and fear tries to take control. This is where mindset becomes critical. Champions do not eliminate fear, they manage it. They reframe pressure as opportunity. Instead of asking, "What if I fail?" they ask, "What if I rise?" This shift changes everything. Pressure becomes fuel instead of a barrier. Pressure builds resilience. Every time you face it and survive, you grow stronger. Each high-stakes moment adds another layer of confidence. You learn that you can handle more than you thought. This confidence does not come from words or affirmations, it comes from experience, from stepping into the fire and refusing to back down. Pressure also creates growth beyond winning or losing. Even when the outcome is not in your favor, the experience shapes you. It teaches you what to improve, where you need to grow, and how to prepare better next time. Champions do not waste pressure-filled moments. They extract lessons from them and return stronger. The greatest victories are born under the heaviest pressure. Records are broken, limits are shattered, and history is made when everything is on the line. Pressure demands excellence. It forces you to access parts of yourself that comfort never will. Without pressure, potential stays hidden. If you want to become unstoppable, stop running from pressure. Invite it, embrace it, train for it. Let it challenge you, harden you, and sharpen you. Pressure is not there to crush you. It is there to reveal the champion within you. Winning is not about talking the loudest or announcing your plans to the world. It is about effort, consistency, and results. In a world where everyone wants attention, true winners choose a different path. They outwork everyone quietly and let their achievements speak for them. There is power in silence, and there is strength in staying focused on the work instead of the noise around you. Most people spend more time explaining what they are going to do than actually doing it. They seek validation, praise, and approval before the work is complete. This drains energy and creates pressure that is unnecessary. When you work in silence, you protect your focus. You are not distracted by opinions, comparisons, or expectations. Your only competition becomes the standard you set for yourself. Outworking everyone does not mean rushing or burning yourself out. It means showing up consistently and giving your best effort day after day. It means training when others rest, learning when others are distracted, and improving while others are comfortable. This steady commitment creates an advantage that grows over time. While others chase shortcuts, you are building something solid. Silence is where discipline thrives. When no one is watching, your true habits are revealed. Do you still push when there is no audience? Do you still care when there is no praise? Winners do. They understand that the work done in private determines the results seen in public. Every early morning, every late night, and every lonely session adds to the foundation of success. Comparison is one of the greatest threats to progress. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you lose sight of your own path. Working in silence allows you to avoid this trap. You focus on your growth, your goals, and your pace. You stop reacting to what others are doing and start responding to what you need to do. This clarity is powerful. Outworking everyone also requires humility. You must accept that there is always more to learn and room to improve. Even when you are ahead, you stay hungry. You do not assume you have arrived. This mindset keeps you sharp and motivated. Arrogance slows progress, but humility accelerates it. There will be times when it feels unfair, when you are putting in more effort and seeing less recognition, when others seem to succeed with less work. This is a test of patience and belief. True winners do not chase instant rewards. They trust the process. They understand that effort compounds and that consistency always wins in the long run. Results speak louder than words. When the work finally shows, no explanation is needed. People notice the transformation, the strength, the skill, and the success. The same people who doubted you begin to ask how you did it. The answer is simple, but not easy. You showed up when it was hard. You stayed consistent when it was boring. You worked when no one was watching. Outworking everyone also builds unshakable confidence. Not the loud, attention-seeking kind, but the quiet kind that comes from knowing you have done the work. You do not need to brag or prove yourself. You carry confidence in your posture, your actions, and your results. This confidence cannot be faked or taken away because it is earned. Silence protects your momentum. When you are deeply focused, distractions lose their power. Opinions fade into the background, doubt becomes quieter, you enter a state where progress becomes a priority. Day by day, rep by rep, task by task, you move closer to your goals. Winning is not about being seen working hard. It is about actually doing the work. Stay quiet, stay consistent, stay disciplined. Let your effort build the story and let your results finish it. There comes a moment in every journey when the body has nothing left to give. Muscles burn, lungs ache, and every step feels heavier than the last. This is the moment most people believe they are finished. But this is not the end. This is the point where the mind steps in and takes control. Long before the body truly fails, the mind asks for permission to quit, and the answer you give in that moment defines who you are. The body is designed to protect you. When it senses extreme stress or fatigue, it sends signals to slow down or stop. These signals feel convincing, even overwhelming, but they are warnings, not limits. They are the body's way of negotiating comfort. not declaring defeat. The mind has the power to decide whether those signals are commands or just noise. Mental strength is the ability to continue when comfort is no longer available. It is not about ignoring pain, but about choosing purpose over discomfort. Athletes, warriors, and high performers understand this. They train their minds to stay calm under stress and focused under fatigue. When the body is screaming, the mind becomes the leader. Most people never discover their true capacity because they stop at the first sign of struggle. They assume tired means done. But there is always more left than you think. The mind is capable of pushing the body far beyond perceived limits. This is why mental training is just as important as physical training. Visualization, self-talk, and focus are tools that turn exhaustion into endurance. When the body wants to quit, the mind must simplify the task. Do not think about how far you have left to go. Focus on the next step, the next breath, the next repetition. Breaking challenges into small actions keeps you moving forward. Momentum is built through simple decisions made under pressure. Self-talk becomes critical in these moments. The words you repeat to yourself shape your reality. Negative thoughts weaken you. Strong, intentional thoughts empower you. Telling yourself to push, to stay strong, to keep moving may seem simple, but it has a powerful effect. The mind listens to what you tell it, especially under stress. Mental control is built through exposure. You cannot expect to stay strong in extreme moments if you avoid discomfort in daily life. Every hard workout, every difficult task, and every uncomfortable situation trains your mind to stay steady. Over time, discomfort becomes familiar instead of frightening. What once felt unbearable becomes manageable. There will be moments when the pain feels personal, as if it is testing your resolve directly. This is where purpose matters. When you connect your effort to a deeper reason, pain loses its power. You are no longer pushing just for the moment, but for the person you are becoming. Purpose gives strength when energy is gone. The mind also learns through proof. Each time you push past the point you thought was your limit, your confidence grows. You learn that quitting is a choice, not a necessity. This belief carries into every area of life. Challenges no longer intimidate you. You trust your ability to endure and overcome. When the body finally does reach its true limit, the mind remains strong. You may slow down, but you do not give up. You adapt, you adjust, you keep going in whatever way is possible. This resilience defines winners. They do not rely on perfect conditions. They rely on mental control. Mastering the mind is mastering yourself. When the body quits, the mind decides what happens next. Train it, strengthen it, trust it. Because in the moments that matter most, your mind is the strongest weapon you have. Winning rarely looks the way people imagine it. It is not loud, dramatic, or constantly celebrated. Most of the time, it happens quietly, away from attention and approval. True progress is made when no one is watching, when there is no audience to impress, and no recognition to chase. This is where real victory is built, in silence, through discipline, patience, and consistency. Working in silence means focusing on the process instead of the applause. It means committing to your goals without needing validation from others. When you stop announcing every move, you protect your energy. You stop leaking motivation through explanations and opinions. Silence keeps your vision clear and your direction steady. You move forward without distraction, guided by purpose rather than praise. The most powerful jar. Out happens when you're alone with your work. Early mornings, late nights, empty gyms, quiet rooms, and long hours of focused effort shape your character. These moments test your commitment. Without external pressure or encouragement, you are forced to rely on your internal drive. This is where self-belief is built. Not through words, but through action. Victory earned in silence is stronger because it is rooted in self-respect. You know what you have endured. You know the sacrifices you have made. You know how many times you showed up when it would have been easier to stop. This knowledge creates a quiet confidence that does not need to be proven. You walk differently when you know you have done the work. There will be times when silence feels lonely, when no one seems to notice your effort or appreciate your progress. These moments can be discouraging if you expect recognition too soon. But silence teaches patience. It reminds you that meaningful success takes time. Seeds grow underground before they break the surface. What you are building may not be visible yet, but that does not mean it is not real. Staying silent also protects you from doubt and negativity. The more people know about your plans, the more opinions they offer. Not all of them are supportive. Some will project their fears onto you. Some will question your choices. Silence shields you from this noise. It allows you to stay locked in on your path without being pulled in different directions. When results finally appear, they speak with authority. No explanation is needed, no justification is required. The work becomes visible through performance, strength, skill, and consistency. This is why results are the loudest voice. They cannot be argued with or ignored. They represent effort over time, not talk in the moment. Victory in silence also keeps you humble. You do not feel the need to boast or exaggerate. You understand that success is not an endpoint, but a responsibility. Staying grounded allows you to keep growing. Pride can slow progress, but humility keeps you hungry. Silent winners continue to work because they know there is always another level. There is a freedom that comes from not needing recognition. You stop measuring your worth by likes, applause, or approval. You begin to measure it by progress and integrity. This freedom makes you more consistent and resilient. You are no longer dependent on external motivation. Your drive comes from within. Winning in silence does not mean you will never be seen. It means you do not chase being seen. When the time is right, your results will naturally draw attention. People will ask how you did it. They will see the strength, the discipline, and the success. What they will not see are the countless silent moments that made it possible. Let your journey be quiet. Let your effort be relentless. Let your results speak for you. Because the strongest victories are not announced. They are earned.